from the Kaylee Anthony case. Good evening, I'm Jacqueline London.
I'm Bob Fryer. Mark Nejame was representing the missing girl's grandparents, George and Cindy.
And Nejame says George and Cindy Anthony still believe little Kaylee is alive. But statements he has made strongly hints that he believes otherwise. Nejame also alludes to the fact that the Anthonys are not following his advice. Live team coverage first at 5. Jessica D'Onofrio is live at the Anthony home in East Orange County. But first, to Lewis Bolden with what Mark Nejame is saying. Lewis.
Well, Jackie, Mark Nejame says there was not one incident, but rather a series of incidents that led to his decision. Bottom line, he says he had no control over the Anthonys.
You have to listen to your inner voice. You just have to do what you think is right.
After 2.5 months representing Cindy and George Anthony, high-profile attorney Mark Nejame is calling it quits.
In order for me to represent a client, I've got to be the one in charge of the case and the client. And I felt like I didn't have the requisite control.
Nejame broke the news Thursday afternoon that he is no longer representing the grandparents of missing Kaylee Anthony, saying there is little value he can provide to any client if they choose to act and comment at will.
I'm not as effective as I believe I need to be to continue the level of representation.
Shortly after Nejame started representing the Anthonys, there was a noticeable difference. The couple no longer made comments to the media, but rather referred questions to Nejame. But as time went on, that wore off, and Cindy and George broke their short-lived silence. They spoke at will and against their attorney's advice.
I think any client who's got a case should not be doing interviews unless that is reviewed first with their advisors and attorneys.
Now, even though he is a prominent criminal defense attorney, Nejame made it clear from the very beginning that he would not help Casey Anthony's defense team. He says he was never asked to do so because George and Cindy Anthony knew it was off the table. Now, coming up at 6 o'clock, Nejame dismisses 2 clients but takes on another who has also been involved in this case. I'll tell you who it is coming up at 6. For now, we're live downtown Orlando. I'm Lewis Bolden. Local 6.
Lewis, thank you. And there's no question, really, the Anthony family has been no stranger from the spotlight. Just this week, in fact, as you saw, they gave us an inside look at the house and shared exclusive new details about what it was like when Casey Anthony was home from jail. Jessica D'Onofrio was granted that unprecedented access to the family home. Just there's even some who said that maybe Cindy enjoys the spotlight a little too much. Is this why Mark Nejame is stepping aside?
Well, Bob, Nejame says it's nothing that specific. There was no real straw that broke the camel's back. Now, we're here live at the Anthony family home right now. They are not here, and so far today, they've been completely silent. Now, I spent time with them, as you mentioned this week, inside their East Orange County home. They spoke to us for hours in Kaylee's room and then in Casey's room. And, of course, we know the couple has been outspoken in the search for their granddaughter, which is one of the reasons why Mark Nejame quit today. But they remain convinced their granddaughter is still alive.
I've never wavered on my feelings for my granddaughter. I still believe she's alive out there. We still feel that.
Back here live, again, the Anthonys are not home. They are also not at the Kid Finder booth on Colonial and Goldenrod. They spend a lot of their time there passing out missing persons flyers. So at this point, no comment from George and Cindy Anthony. For now, I'm live in East Orange County. Jessica D'Onofrio, Local 6.
Hey, Jess, we know that the Anthonys have other plans, have been talking about writing a book. Any word on whether there will be a replacement, another attorney for Mr. Nejame?
It's anyone's guess right now, Bob, but I'm sure there are plenty of attorneys out there lining up to help out the Anthonys, Bob.
And there's ice cream, I think, coming down the street. Is that what we're hearing there?
That's what you're hearing.